Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel. So yeah, today we are going to continue with where we left off on this flow that we created on org B, and we are trying to call it as like an API from org A. I created this on Penguin, and now I'm going to call it from RESTful. Okay, so for you to be able to call this flow, very simple flow, what it does is to create account, and it creates related contacts automatically. Okay, and the objective for today is to call this flow from another system. So essentially this flow will act like an API for us. Okay, so yeah, so for us to do that, let's go to the nice thing about this is we're able to do all of these things from flow without writing a single line of code. Okay, I've seen people try to build similar stuff that they had to write a lot of crazy Apex code to do these simple things. So if Salesforce has provided us with tools that we can use without writing code, that's what we should go for, and that's what we're trying to do here. Okay, so for us to call a system from another system, we must create a connected app. Okay, so connected app, of course, that's under app manager. So app manager, if you've not seen the other video, please make sure you watch the other video before you come back to this video. Okay, app manager. So from app manager, we find, I just want to show you that we've created it before. This is it, RESTful. So this RESTful, and we have, from it, the connected, we have created the connected application, and the callback URL, we've assigned it to RESTful. This is Penguin. So if you go to RESTful, we have authentication provider, we have that here. Okay, now we have the callback URL, everything appropriately set up. So we should also go to named credentials. You must create named credential. So we've created name credential, Penguin name credential. This is the one we're using, and it also has this external credential. Okay, so if you enter here, we have the external, everything is appropriately set up. Here is the external credential, and from the external credential, we've been able to assign permission set, I believe. Yeah, permission set, and we have configured it. Okay, so all that we need to do now is to create flow on RESTful and be able to call this auto launch flow that exists in Penguin. So yeah, let's quickly do that. Before we proceed to configure our flow, let us establish connection. Let's try and call this flow from an external system like Postman or Workbench. In this case, let's just use Workbench, and yeah, we will try and call the flow from Workbench first. Login. I think this is it. Yeah, so okay, we are going into Penguin now. So this is Penguin. Always make sure you double check this thing. I've seen instances where it took you to the hog that you don't want to log into. Yeah, so now we need to find a path to the flow, right? So it's under action, and let's execute it. So it expands up, and we go to custom. Of course, that's where we will have your custom flows, and here this is flow, and what else? Let's see if we can expand it. Auto contact. Yeah, that's the flow we're talking about, and this is the URL. Let's click on this. Then let's of course we want to post to it, so we need to set the body. Okay, and for us to do that, where we're actually going inside input. Okay, so these are the variables that we have defined in our flow, and these variables are available for input. Yeah, so what we should do is to configure the body to get to this object. Okay, so let's go here. Let's input, right? Inputs, I believe. From input, this is an array, right? Okay, so let's configure an array. array. Okay, let's take it down so it will be clear. Enter. Yeah, in this array we have objects in it. I mean, yes, we have objects of what? Let's do this. Yes, let's do this. The objects are what? These variables, right? So v underscore what? Let me see, account name. Okay, we're going to pass something here. Something. Let's say some account. Okay, and the other one is what? This is JSON. So see, okay, and here too. Okay, so some contacts, whatever. So the variable is v underscore what? V underscore contact last name. Contact last name. Is that it? Maybe. Let's execute it and see if we have error. Expand all. Okay, we don't have any error, so it returned to us these variables that we defined in the previous video. That's why I say you should watch the other video. So this is the return contact ID and this is the return account ID. Okay, this is perfect. So here, this is what we will need in our flow. Let me just keep it in the clipboard. Copy. So now what we need to do is go to, let's close this so we don't have so many tabs opened. Let's go to flow from RESTful, right? Flow. So okay, login. So let's create a screen flow this time, right? Screen flow. Then create. Okay, so the first thing I would do is to configure the screen, right? So screen screen 1 or screen A, doesn't matter. So on the screens we're going to input some stuff. So text, we need to input account name and contact name, right? So account name that's required, whatever, and contact name, contact last name, also required. Okay, and done. So that's the first thing that you'll be presented with. Then the next thing, we need to configure our external service, right? And for us to configure external service, I like to do it from Flow because it's sequential. You understand it better that way. But of course, if you have your external service already configured, you just go to type and pick it. Okay, so here, let's name it auto contacts external service. Auto contact text serve, something like that. So the name credential, of course, the name credential that we defined earlier. That's why it's good to include your URL the proper way. I've seen people who made mistake and they added the path to the URL. If you do that, you find it difficult to reuse the system, right? So you won't be able to reuse this named credential if you are doing that. So please don't do that. Next, so auto contact revocable action. So of course the method is post, and the path, oh, shouldn't have copied this. Okay, so the path, we have the path here. You see why I like Workbench very much, and Postman. So oh, come on, so the path, now we're able to use the path. Okay, and we click on next. So here we copy this and we put it in the body. Okay, yeah, and review, perfect. Let's click on next. What else? Let's click on next. Let's connect and see if it works. It seems like it's working. It worked. Error, let's change it to string. So this is my output. Returned, you see, returned contact, returned account ID, returned contact ID. I mean, Salesforce is doing all of these things behind the scene for us. Isn't this amazing? Yeah, so we save it. So we have configured our external service. Now let's create our action, right? Auto contact action. Oh dear, okay. And these are external service, and that's it. So the object, I didn't explain this part properly, but if you look at the input, you see that you have to configure this as the whole thing is a JSON object. Okay, JSON object. So we need to configure this input, and that's what we are going to do here. Body, so request, let me call it rec body. Okay, request body. Oh, sorry, new resource. Yeah, request body, apex defined, and that's it. Okay, yeah, that's it, and done. Okay. So we need to assign, let's say assign, right? So let's assign variables. Let's say assign values, click on that. See, if you use request body, let's say request body, then it will end at the collection. So look at this, it is the input, and this is a collection. This is like an array. There's nothing you can do from there. So we need to, you won't be able to traverse to these variables from request body. So we need to create other variables that will help us get to those variables. Yeah. So okay, so at this point we want to assign variables so that we can get to the values in the inputs, right? In here we want to get to these variables. Okay, that's v account and v last name. So to do that, we need to create new resource that is going to be different from request body. This is much like request body input, right? So variable rec body inputs, yes, and it's going to be apex defined. Auto, which one is it? Inputs body. Yeah, inputs. Okay, so the value rec body inputs dot, now we're able to reach this, right? Dot this. The second one, rec body inputs dot contact last name equals the value in the screen. So where do we have? We have the screen component, and the other screen component. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the inputs, that's the rig body input, we're going to put it inside request body. So here we say rig body rig body dot hard, rig body dot rig body dot input, that's the collection, dot hard dot add what, request inputs, remove the dot, and that's it. So yeah, I believe that's it. What else do we need to do here? I don't think we need to do anything. I think we need to save it and debug it. So auto contact external, auto contact external. Okay, let's debug it and let's see if it works. So run. So I'm gonna go to accounts. Let's say we call it RESTful Limited Ltd. So and my name is the contact Adetona. Let's click on next. See if it works. Seems like it's working. Boom, it worked. Okay, these are the variables that it returned to you. So if we go to account, accounts, we should see this, yeah, and it should have Adetona as a related contact. Yeah, so that's it. We are calling a flow from another flow, and all of this we are able to do without writing a single line of code. What you can achieve with this very, very simple but powerful system is not limited. It's not limited. You see easily with this, you can relate with your ERP system. You can relate with external system. You can relate with SharePoint. You can do whatever you want to do with this simple point and click tools. You just need to try and understand exactly how it works. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I want to thank you very much for viewing, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Stop.